as well. CU held its annual academic breakfast earlier this week. 3 buffs earned. Mentioned 4.0 club, there's Dempsey, Shane Cokes, Travis Hunter. Total of 87 players achieved the 3.0 GPA better. Let me say that again. A total of 87 players achieved a 3.0 or better. Okay. Ronald Coleman was presented with the Motivated to Succeed Award. Football team as a whole presented the Impressive Academic Performance Award in the fall. Football team had its highest GPA in the history. And the cumulative GPA of the team is also the highest in the history, both over 3.0 for its first time. What are we talking about? That is unbelievable to me, man. Now that makes me smile. That right there makes me smile. Spring game, tickets still available. The game at 2:30 on ESPN2. I think we over 15,000 tickets. I think it hurt the ticket sales when they said that we wasn't going to get that scrimmage. I really do, against Syracuse, and I wish we would have. But hopefully we get it a year from now when somebody else think of it besides me and Coach Fran Brown, and let them do it first. So the ticket sales will be astronomical. In sales, not the prices, but it'll be a great thing to pack this thing out. Travis and Shedeur retired jerseys. That's a sore subject that I saw the other day. We're retiring jerseys 2 and 12 for Shedeur and Travis. Travis is the most decorated player in a single season in college football history, and Shedeur has over 100 school records, and just the second QB in Division I history to have over 14,000 career passing yards while completing 70% of his passes. New strength coach Morgan Cole and Tessa Grossman, they're unbelievable young ladies, doing a fine job. Thank you for equality. Thank you for diversity. Thank you for those women coming on board. Wonderful. I think that's the first in CU. We had a lot of firsts in CU history, huh? God bless my AD. I love him to life. I love Rick so darn much. It's unbelievable. Let's get it on. I feel good today.
Hey, Coach.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Excellent.
Nikki Edwards, CU Sports Report. You mentioned how much you love Rick George.
Yes, I do.
Just curious about your contract extension and what went into that negotiation and keeping you here at CU.
I told you I wasn't going nowhere. I don't know why y'all didn't believe me. You know, I cried to you before I lied to you. I love it here. I adore it here. I wanted to get some things done before I was able to do what we did long term. Resorts, collectives, NIL stuff, a few of the coaches as well, and we got them taken care of. So then I came in and got mine done. I don't like talking about me and talking about money, man. I've never been one to do that. I don't know. I don't ever remember holding out, even in football or baseball, contracts for money. I know they say when you're a rookie it's a holdout, but it's really not because you don't have a contract. So how can you hold out when you don't have a contract? That's the dumbest thing I ever heard when, my rookie year. But I don't ever remember fighting for. I just balled. And money finds you. So if that's the approach, that's the approach. I don't like talking about my stuff. Let's talk about somebody else.
Good. Hey, Coach.
Jack Carlo.
Jack Carlo.
Jack Carlo.
Just wanted to ask, obviously a busy week.
Yes, sir.
Really busy month for you guys.
Yes, sir.
What's kind of the challenge for you and your staff of balancing, transfer portal opening yesterday,
Well,
spring game Saturday?
I think we know the portal really good. We've been doing this for quite some time. It didn't just start when we got here. We started at Jackson. It started really in youth when we come and take nothing and turn it into something. So when we started our Truth Youth program, we had nothing. So that means we got a lot of kids out of the portal, which is from other schools, other teams, and we did our thing. Same in high school, same at Jackson, and thus far. We got some tremendous guys identified that's in the portal that we felt like we're going to be in the portal. We don't jump the gun on that stuff because the last thing I want to hear is my name associated with tampering or anything like they do our kids. We got contracts. I mean, we got some schools so stupid they give kids contract while they're still here. I don't understand that whatsoever. Like, NCAA, y'all got to do something, man. Don't just sit there on your hands and open them up and so everybody could grease your darn palms and make a ton of money off everybody and don't have nothing to say about nothing. I don't understand that part. But the portal's is going to be good to us. I think we have several players coming this weekend. which I'm excited to see along with what we already have in-house.
Hi, Coach. Good to see
How
you.
you doing, sir?
Doing well. Adam Muster, Tiger 24/7 Sports. You obviously spent a lot of time evaluating Caden Salter and Julian Lewis. So you had an idea of what they were bringing to the table. But I'm curious now, 14 practices in, how that's kind of matched up with your expectations.
They're learning. Every day they're getting better and better. They're starting to understand the system. It's tougher on Pat and the offensive coaches because you have two different type of quarterbacks. So you pretty much calling two different offenses. When this guy's in, you call it this way. When this guy's in, you call it that way. And Sharp kind of is the most versatile. He could do a little bit of both. So it's different. It's not easy whatsoever. But these two guys, these three guys, Staub has been a tremendous spring to me. He's in it as well. It's totally different because you know we've had old reliable and we didn't have to blink. We knew what we were getting on Saturday. We knew that. Now we got to really think about this thing and see who these guys are so we could put them in the right position for success. And that's probably the main thing, kind of figuring these guys out, what they're good at, what they're not, what they're comfortable with, how much can we push them. And we still have a whole summer to do so as well.
Hey, Coach. Pat Graham, Associated
What's
Press.
going on,
Nice
Pat?
to see you. First of all, congratulations to Shedeur and Travis with the retired jerseys.
Amen.
You know, retired jerseys can be a sore subject for
Not
some
really.
alums.
This is the first time I ever seen it sore.
That's
I don't know if you know it, but I'm retired. I think every jersey during I played in is retired. So I'm pretty familiar with this. So it's never been sore.
But why do you think that? What was your message like? Maybe Buff Nation and Buff alums who are
I don't
wondering
have a
why
message. I'm praying for my AD. I love him to life, Rick George. Let's get the elephant out the room. I don't want to talk about this too long. I'm going to just talk briefly and let it go. We talking about Shedeur. We ain't talking about nobody else. But his last name wasn't Sanders, we wouldn't have this discussion. The only reason we were having this discussion is his last name is Sanders. Okay? That's it. It's been so many things accomplished at this university expeditiously. It's been unbelievable. And I think we should be appreciative. We should be thankful. We have a room full of wonderful people that covers us. And I don't know if you all were in this room 2-3 years ago. Very few. Okay, but it's a new day. We're doing things a little different. I think the training table, I think the food is better. Nobody said nothing about that. It's a whole lot of things that are brighter and they're better because someone stands on business and makes it that way. And he is resilient when it comes to it being that way because everything we do is to improve everything for us. I think it was hot in here one time. I said, let's turn the darn air conditioner on our night game, right? The next time we came in, what happened? I think about those details because it don't just benefit me, it benefits what? All of us. So if all of us are happy, all of us should be happy. I'm not going to be critical of you because I didn't get what I want. I don't get down like that. And the root to all of it is personal. Sometimes we got to get out the way, man, and just be thankful for our people, others. Love thy neighbor as thyself. That's what the Bible told me. If we loved that neighbor truly, we wouldn't have a problem with nobody else.
because this should be a big honor for him, and yet it's being met with this. How's
He
feeling?
don't care. Let's get this straight. He's a Sanders. He don't care. Travis don't either. I don't either. I think it's a beautiful day, blessed day. These guys are thinking about the draft, man. They thinking about where they're going to spend their career. That's what they're on right now. But we're thankful that Buff Nation has been gracious. They've been wonderful. I feel like we have the best fan base ever, especially over the last 2 years. I can't comment before because I wasn't here. So it's hard for me to attach myself to something that wasn't because I was not here. But the last 2 years has been phenomenal, man. It's going to be a better place. That's why I call it home now. I get mail here. I don't know if y'all know it or not.
Hey, Coach. Brian Howell, Boulder Daily Camera. I have two questions for you. First off, now that you're 14 practices through, how would you assess this spring overall for this team?
We straight. I don't know how you assess spring. You're practicing against yourself. So if you're doing good, what does that say? If you're doing bad, what does that say? So you can't really assess that. That's why I wanted a spring game against somebody else so you can kind of assess talent, you can assess coaching, you can assess growth, adversity, you can assess a whole lot of things. So it's kind of tough to really assess talent and assess what you want to see. I know what I like to see. I don't see that every day. But I saw it today. I had a great practice today, I feel.
And then the second question is, as the portal opens now, we know you guys will be active.
We've
like
always been
like
active.
everybody is.
We've always been active.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Why is it welcome that everybody's active now?
that's just the way it is these days.
How? But a couple years ago, it was a problem. I just read somewhere, correct me if I'm wrong, because my reading is not great as well. One school had 30 guys jump. Is that correct? Yeah. Where's the outroar? Outpouring and where's the ignorance? What is he doing?
So my question to you is that, with the portal open, obviously you're going to be active, but I'm curious, like, are there particular areas where you want to target? And say,
Every
we have to get
area.
better at this?
I want to target every area. You don't just sit back and think you got it. I mean, I think the kicking game is set. I think we tight in the kicking game. Long snappers as well as kickers and punters, we straight. Everything else is we need to improve.
Yeah, Lincoln Roach, CU Independent. So the judge overseeing the House settlement really wants to see players grandfathered in who would otherwise lose their spots in the roster cuts.
Grandfather, what does that mean?
Like players who would get cut right now from the roster
You
cuts.
can't cut anybody, really, can you? Let me know.
Well, right, like roster limits,
Yeah,
limit
but
on
what
people.
you don't call that cutting, do you? What do you call it? It's just to escort them to the portal. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. What do you call it?
Well, a lot of these walk-ons, which, you've brought several walk-ons onto the team and offered scholarships, but do you
No,
think these
we
players...
offered one walk-on a scholarship,
One.
not several.
My
One.
apologies.
There you go.
One. But do you think these people who would otherwise not be on this limited team roster, do you think they should be grandfathered in and have the opportunity to play?
I don't know what grandfather. If you have roster limits of 105, that's roster limits. I don't know what the grandfather or the grandma.
It would be able to not cap at 105
But
to
then you're
let
at one-
those
Then
people
you're
stay.
at 106, or 107. So now, why did you even put a limit on it anyway? No. Whatever the rules are, let's just stick with the rules. Let's stop trying to fluff the rules, man. It is what it is. If the speed limit says 55, man, it's 55. It ain't 60. Okay, it is what it is. Let's stop. You grandfather in because I was old and somebody was having a baby and I had to get there. Okay, so no, man, it is what it is.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
What's going on, boss?
Not too much. Scott Proctor at DMVR. Obviously, with the transfer portal open, you mentioned that you guys are going to have some visitors this weekend.
Yeah.
What's kind of, I guess, maybe your general message to maybe some potential additions about why Colorado is the place for them?
I don't think I have to explain why Colorado. I think they see that on an everyday basis. Why Colorado? I don't think I have to sit up there and sell us to anybody. I think by the time they get here, they're looking for confirmation. Our program sells itself. We do a wonderful job with Neely and Reach to People and Well Off and Snelly and all that kind of stuff. We do a great job of really exposing our program. We're going to do it. We did a great job on Pro Day. Matter of fact, all of you that covered Pro Day, you did a great job. I'm talking about a wonderful job. That was one of the best Pro Days, I was told, that many scouts had come to witness, and that's because of your coverage of it as well. So we do a good job of exposing our program. So I don't think we have to sell anything. They just want validation and confirmation.
Hey, Coach. Brandon Christelle from Gorilla Sports. Going back to the retire jersey conversation, have you chatted with Rick about honoring the past in addition to, obviously, Travis and adding some of these guys
I'm not.
that, predated, that are all Americans and college Hall of Famers and all that?
Into that. I'm into coaching football right now. Like I don't know if you saw this, and I want you to make note of this. I had a wonderful idea one day. Why am I just talking about these guys that certainly going to get drafted? I'm going to talk about all my guys because I love all of them. And if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be where I am now. So I did a personal video for every kid that's getting ready to go in the draft that are seniors. I honored every last one of them. That's my responsibility, I feel, for my era, for my team, for my guys, because of what they did for me. When I start going back into something that I don't know nothing about, that I wasn't involved in, I'm going to ruffle feathers because I'm going to forget somebody, bless you, that I don't know nothing about. And that's going to be a problem. And I don't want to be put in that position. I want to be the good steward on what God has placed me over, and I feel like I am. I really do feel like the love and support that we give for this university, as well as the other sports, because we give everybody love. I don't know if you know it or not. I'm talking about soccer, lacrosse, tennis. Yeah, they call me Prime Black and Roll, by the way. Tennis, every sport, man, that I got love for. Basketball, I said it, but I really do. And I try my best to help each program get to the next level, as well as track and cross country. But all that yesterday stuff, I don't know about that because somebody's gonna get sensitive. I have some dear friends. I know Cordell and Westbrook is my guy. We had a great talk the other night. Who else? Several guys, especially that whole lineage of corners that were great here. So it's good. It's good.
Ryland Scholes from Ralph Report. With spring practices almost over.
I wish I could just shake everyone. Can we start off with me just shaking everyone's hand that played here before? Just giving them a hug, right? They got to come back for that, right? Let's start with that. Let's start off right there. That's what I want to do.
Sorry. With the spring practice period almost over, what are you seeing out of Juju and Caden in the quarterback competition?
Well, they're different, totally different. They could play, man, but they approach the game totally different. But we got to be better in coaching to their strengths. We got to be better to put them in the right situations for success. But those guys could play.
Hey,
Yes.
Coach, Jake Schwannis, DMVR. I wanted to ask you about the offensive line. Just how far do you think you guys have come in that department over the last 2 years?
Long way. We're going to run the heck out of the ball this year. We are. I know we said that last year. We didn't get it done. We're going to run the heck out of the ball, but we improved from the previous year. But this year, with the offensive linemen that we've attained, our coaching staff that we reassembled, with the three-headed monster of coaches, as well as what Marshall Falk brings to the table, we're going to run the football. We're going to run the football. You're probably going to see two more backs out of the portal as well.
Hey, Coach. Recently just announced that Folsom Field will be switching from grass to turf.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if you had any, input in that.
Yeah, we
insight.
plan on making it to the playoffs. And we don't want to play in the frozen tundra. I don't know if the heating system that once was available, I don't know if that was still available because we do so much in the off season. I mean, this university is a magnet for events. So when you have an events and you putting a lot of wear and tear on grass, that's kind of tough to bounce back on. And I don't know if you guys have been on the field, I assume not, but when you have evening games, it's a dew that gets on the field and it gets pretty slippery, man. For both teams, not just our team, but we should have some type of advantage for that. So just going to turf just assures us a better footing, a better surface, and it takes a lot of pressure off our wonderful staff that's doing the grounds. Now they can focus more on the other practice fields to make sure they're straight all year round for us.
The other one I had for you was you always talk about you want 7 guys on
Right.
each side of the football.
Right.
I imagine now the portal's going to open. There's going to be some turnover.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
How close would you say you are to that?
We're not far away. We're definitely not far away. I think at this point last year, I think we still got about 15 or 17, maybe 14 guys out of the portal at this point last year, going into the summer. So we want to be around that area, and we'll be pretty good. We're around that area, and I think we're going to stay consistent with our number at 105, what the NCAA requires. We're going to be pretty consistent with that.
Hey, Coach, Max Friedel for SBS. With the quarterback battle and Caden Salter and Juju, there's been talks of Juju redshirting. Do you think you're going to do that before the season?
Who did you hear say that?
A couple people from.
Who?
The Nick Evans, Scobo Sports.
Who is Nick Evans? Who?
He's.
Who? Self-explanatory. Nobody said that, man.
I was just wondering. what your
Nobody
thoughts-
said that. That's not our plan. That's not his plan, but if it happens, it happens. If he sustains an injury that puts him in that situation, but you never know. I mean, the guy could be a 2 or he could be a 1. I don't think we're gonna put him in a box like that. We're not doing that. You got to know, young fella, when you come in with something, I'm gonna call you out on it now. So be prepared next time. All right? Like I don't know who that is. Yes, sir.
John Treach, 9 News.
Pleasure.
3 springs in, how would you evaluate the state of your program right now? Like, what gives you juice and what frustrates you?
I always have juice. I don't not ever have juice. You're never gonna catch me down and somber whatsoever. I don't move like that. I love where we are. I think we could always do better. We could always be better. We could always have several other players that make you feel better about what's going on. I feel really good about the staff. I feel really good about the support staff, where we are injury-wise. The guys that I know are going to be healthy and coming back this summer. I really feel really good about Swayze and what he's doing in strength and conditioning. I feel great about the program, man. The sky's the limit for us. I know that's old cliche, but it really is. It's on us. It's not going to be on anybody else. It's going to be on us to do what we plan on doing. And Ray Fossett, he keeps doing a tremendous job of attaining the talent that we need to get to the next level. Pretty Tony is what they call it. Yeah.
Coach Jeff Trussell, 9 News. On your draft day, when Detroit Lions didn't draft you, you mentioned I would ask for so much money they would have had to put you on layaway.
Yes, sir.
What do you remember about that day in 1989
Tremendous.
that you can relate to today? And what do you remember about that day?
That's a great question, sir. The first thing I remember of that day is we were so broke that we weren't going to have it at home because we had rats and roaches. We wouldn't want to risk that on national TV. So we did it, I think, at my agent's house at the time with Steve Zucker, I believe, in Chicago. That's where we had it at. And I think the next day you flew in, and I flew on a regular plane. Like I remember standing in line to get on the plane and coming out of Atlanta. That's when everybody used to be in the airports. It was everything, and coming out and the cameras being right there and everything. And you know, I was fly, clean, had the Florida swag going, but it was a wonderful day. The reason it was a wonderful day, because let me get this right, because this is probably going to be a viral moment. The reason it was a wonderful day, because from that day forward, my mother never worked another day of her life. Yeah. Those dreams really came true. So that day was that day. And then from thereafter, I had to work to maintain that she never had to go back to work because of me mismanaging money, mismanaging hope. That's the worst thing ever. Players don't talk about that they retired their mother, but their mama had to go back to work. We don't talk about that stuff. That's the kind of stuff we skip through. But if you don't handle it right, players, men and women now, in college sports as well as professional, you got to handle it right. Because you hate that dream that you have for your parents to become a nightmare. Because that's embarrassing. Great question. We good? Thank you. Hey, again, Rick George is a wonderful, blessed human being, not because he blessed me, but because what he's done for this university, with this university, to this university is unbelievable. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Rick George. God bless you. All right, thank you.
Hey, Carter. Brian Howell, both the Daily Camera. Coming into this is your third spring, right? Were you here in the spring a couple years ago? Now you've got potential for that full-time starting role. Talk about your spring this year and just kind of the opportunity that you have going forward.
Yeah, I came back to spring after spring break. I got hurt in the bowl game, actually. I got like a bad high ankle sprain, but since I came back, they've been moving me around, you know what I'm saying, just getting where I fit in. But I'm just trying to take on this leadership role, really what Cam was for this defense last year. I'm just trying to be what he was last year and just going out there and making plays, really wherever they put me, I'm just ready to play ball, so.
Just real quick as a follow-up to that. You got to move around a lot last year. How valuable was that experience for you to play in some different roles?
It's great. It's great, you know, just being able to get more experience at different positions, just, you know, whenever they could throw me out at any position, I just know I'll be ready for whatever comes.
Jake, go ahead.
Hey Carter, Jake Schwannis, DMVR. To kind of go with that, Coach Rob mentioned, you know, finding one position for you to, you know, kind of be your home. What position do you like playing the most? Where do you think your skill set best fits on the field?
Anywhere, really. They could put me anywhere. I feel like I could produce at a high level wherever they put me. Either they put me in the post, nickel, corner, anywhere they put me, I'm just ready to play. So wherever they got me, whatever they got in mind for me, that's where I'm ready to go.
Hi, Carter. Adam, Mr. Tiger, 24/7 Sports. Tawfiq has joined your group, and Ben Finnis has been asked to step up as a leader. What does that safeties group look like from your vantage point this spring?
Tawfiq is probably one of the smartest football players I've ever been around. Him and Cam are probably 1A, 1B as far as smartest people. You know, Tawfiq, his brother's in the league, so he's got a lot of, you know, knowledge, and he's just trying to help give that to the rest of the secondary. You know, Ben is best. He's just gonna be Ben. He's gonna work every day, work his butt off, and he just tries to bring a lot of energy to the room. That's what we need.
Hey, Carter, Tyler King with the Denver Gazette. You mentioned Cam and kind of trying to fill that role that he had last year. What were the biggest takeaways you had from playing behind him the last couple of years and his leadership aspect and kind of what he does on the field as well?
I could go on and on about Cam. You know, in my eyes, I see Cam as a big brother. Cam last year, he really took me under his wing. We had a whole schedule last year, even when I wasn't playing at safety. You know, every Monday we would come back up here, watch the whole game film. Even when I wasn't playing, we watched the whole film, and then we go to Coach Rob's office right after that and get the game plan. And then he just tried to teach me all the little things on how to be a pro and just try to do things the right way, doing extra work, watching all the film. So I really appreciate what Cam did last year for me, just taking me under his wing, just showing me just showing me the ropes and all that.
Hey Carter, Nikki Edwards, U Sports Report. How big is it to get Preston Hodge back in the secondary, and how is he going to be helpful for you and the goals of the secondary?
It's going to be huge. You know, Preston, he's a great player. He can cover. You know, he'll hit. Preston just is another just great asset. You know, we already got Colton and DJ on the outside. Have Preston on the inside is really, you ain't got nowhere to worry about as a safety. You just back there playing ball, so it's not really a weakness when he's out there.
Hey Carter, Pat Graham, Associated Press. When you had a Heisman Trophy winner in your secondary, how do you take that from one season to the next and kind of, you know, how does it make you guys better going into the next season?
Someone just got to step up, you know what I'm saying? You just having Travis out there, that's one side of the field that you don't have to worry about at all. But, you know, we got the corners that have the ability to step up and play as good as anyone else in the country. So I'm not really worried about my corners this year. Even Travis was great, but we still got Colton and DJ. And we gonna get some more people in the portal. So, you know, the outside is not a really worry for me.
Did he make you better, though? Did he make the room better?
Oh, yeah, most definitely, yeah. Just taught us how to work every day, you know what I'm saying? His real good IQ and feel for the game. That's just something we could all feed off of from Travis. And his work ethic is unmatched.
Hey, Carter, Matt Smith, Independent. Do you think this has the potential to be a breakout season for you?
Most definitely. Yes, sir.
Is that how you approach things? And when you look at the summer ahead, you got a couple months to get ready for fall. I mean, you're not the only one in this position either on this team. There's a bunch of guys with a bunch of roles that are looking to be filled.
My dad, he talked to me like right after the season that ended, and all of us, we've all talked about this. This is a year we all can go to the league and change our lives forever. So we're just trying to take the next step this year, you know what I'm saying, and just take our games to the next level. There's so much we can improve on from last year. You know, it's just last year was probably, it was a good stepping stone for me, but this year I really want to not just be one of 11. I want to go out there and dominate games and take over games. So, yes, sir.
What is it like as a student athlete in 2025 when we bring up the topic, the transfer portal? Is that something that guys talk about in the locker room? Is it whispers? Hey, what are you thinking, you know, around this day? Take us behind the curtain a little bit with what that experience is like to be 18 to 22 years old and talking about that possibility.
It's a tricky topic right there. From my point of view on the portal, you know, majority of kids, you know, when they see someone go out there and throw a few 100,000 at them, they'll jump at it immediately. So, you know, just me personally, I just have so much loyalty to this program and stuff like that. Everything that Coach Prime has done with me since I was a kid, since I was a baby, Coach Mathis, Coach Hart, you know what I'm saying? So my loyalty is just so strong here. It's not, I don't think it's a number out there that could really get me to leave. And then people in this locker room, I just feel like we're all just so tight in and bought into the program. So thoughts of transfer portal like comes up that doesn't really phase us. People that are gone, we know who it is. We know who the ones who are gonna go. So we don't really give them too much mind. But those that we know gonna stay, we all locked in here for good.
Two more, Jack. Go ahead.
Hey Carter, I'm Jack Carlo with Buffs on SI. Just spring game on Saturday. Just what goals do you have for yourself, and how much are you looking forward to getting back to Folsom Field?
It's great. This will be actually my first spring game since I've been here, so this will be pretty exciting for me. You know, last year I was out with the shoulder surgery and all that, so this will be a good, fun experience, you know what I'm saying? Just get out there with the guys, see what the defense is really going to be like if, you know, bullets flying full speed, so it's exciting.
Carter, we talk a lot about the NFL experience on this coaching staff, but you mentioned your dad. I mean, you grew up with it. So how prepared do you feel for this moment because you've grown up around an NFL dad and that mentality?
Yeah, I just feel like he really prepared me for like when I came here. You know, when I came here, I didn't think it was much that I was missing that he hadn't told me already. So just being ready for the college schedule, you know what I'm saying, meetings, all that. I was just bred for football. So, you know what I'm saying, just long day, early mornings, late nights, you know what I'm saying, just putting in extra work. That's never been an issue for me. So growing up with him, he's been a workaholic, so I'm a workaholic. I was just bred into it. So just stuff like that, I just feel like he really just helped me get to this point where I am. Yes, sir.
Thanks, Carter. Appreciate you.
Appreciate y'all.
Hey RJ, Jake Schwanitz from DMVR. Just what has this spring been like for you? You know, just working your way up the depth chart and the growth that you've made so far to this point.
It's been tremendous. Just by being able to come in and just being able to compete with the few injuries going down, being able to compete and just Coach Prime, Coach Livingston, Coach Mathis, instilling trust in me and just trying to build my role on this season. Because last year I was kind of mainly special teams, so this year I'm starting to be able to develop and take on a bigger role. So I'm pleased with that. And I'm trying to make the most of my opportunities.
Hi, RJ. Adam Munster Tiger, 24/7
How you
Sports.
doing?
Thanks for taking the time out to do
Of
this.
course.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you were mostly at safety last year.
Yes, sir.
Was that a conversation you had wanting to go back to cornerback, or is that where the coaches saw you fit in? How did that position change work for you?
It kind of transpired last year with some injuries going down in the secondary, like towards the end of the season, and Isaiah Harris moving over to receiver. Coach Livingston and Coach Mathis just brought me down and kind of sat and talked to me and was like, would you be willing to go to corner? And I played corner in high school, so it's kind of like more of an easier transition, but just knowing the outs and ends of the defense, playing safety, it helps a lot with being able to play corner and just being able to be more versatile. And just really by me going on to like the next level, showing I can play multiple positions. And them kind of just instilling that trust in me to be able to go out and do it. So it's been great.
Good. Hey RJ, I'm Jack Carlo with
Nice to
Buffs
meet
on SI. Nice to meet you too. Just spoke with Carter Stoutmeyer. Just what's your chemistry like with him, and how's his secondary kind of coming along this spring?
It's great, man. Carter's a big leader. He played pretty much every position in the secondary last year, so he's very familiar, vocal. We have a great secondary. We have whatever you need in the back end, so it's great. Different pieces, moving parts, so it's great. We're going to be very good in the secondary this year.
Hey, RJ, Brian Howell, the Daily Camera. You grew up with Colton and Brandon, and I believe Zach Owens too, right? So a lot of guys you know that are on this team. How much has that kind of helped you as your transition from Arkansas last year? And you got a smile on your face. It's been fun having all those guys around.
Yes, sir. It's been great. Just by having those familiar faces with me, because I've been playing with them since I was freshman, middle school, and high school. So it's just been great being able to come in the building every morning, seeing them, kind of just that familiarity, and then we leave here, we still got the same relationship, and we kind of just know each other. We grew up with each other, so we know the ins and outs. We know one's slacking, one's getting down on themselves. It's easy, like to basically that brotherhood, so we can easily pick each other up. So it's been great. It's tremendous having them here with me. just being able to play with them.
Hey RJ, I saw you, Colton, and DJ chopping it up with Champ Bailey at the Pro Day a few weeks ago. Just what was that like? What did you learn from him?
It was great having the ability to chop it up with Mr. Bailey. Just Coach Palm wanted us to go over there and kind of introduce ourselves. And so he just dropped a lot of knowledge just about how we should play the game, how we can develop our game and be a better corner, and just the ins and outs, like what we need to look for at Tennessee. So it was great being able to chop it up and talk with him.
Last one, Scott, go for it. What's good, RJ?
What's
Scott
good, how you
Proctor, DMVR. You mentioned special teams at the top. I'm pretty sure you played the most special teams snaps on the team last year. How
Yes, sir.
valuable do you think that experience was in kind of earning trust from the coaching staff?
It was great. Just being able to be on every special teams, kind of being able to show my versatility. And last year we had a very deep team, so I kind of had to fit in where I could get in. And that's kind of where I made my mark with special teams last year. And I don't take that lightly. I love special teams. That's kind of how you're going to be able to work your way into the league when you first get in there. So I just want to be able to show I can play all special teams and be able to make an impact for the team last year.
Thanks, RJ.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Have a good day.
That's it.
Do you want me to unplug you an audio cable?